Welcome to the Hooch, where the only place more messed up than your hosts is the barracks on a Friday night or the VA. So get ready to stand by for your weekly dose of toilet humor and shenanigans from your fellow veterans, Coy Mack and Michael Grizzled Grunt Harris.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, chat. Good evening, Michael.
Hello.
Having fun?
No, yeah, I am. I really am. But I ain't no punk. No, I am sick though. I got the bird flu.
There, just for you, Michael.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, the sad twinkle.
But it is. I don't have nobody to make me chicken soup, and I got to do it all by myself.
You got to get yourself a hot toddy, man. Hot toddies are the way to go when you get sick.
Oh yeah.
So, everybody wish Michael a speedy recovery so that he will no longer be sick. Today's episode is going to be fun. We have Trump winning Iowa because we all knew that was going to happen. I don't know anybody in their mind thought that Trump was going to lose to Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who had hopes for that, but that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That Ron DeSantis or Haley could beat Trump at any point.
I don't see how Nikki Haley is even thinking she's can compete with Donald Trump. Did you see that percentage?
Oh,
Donald Trump was
like what, 13%?
She was less than that. She was lower than she was 19%. I think DeSanctimonious was 21%. Yeah. Trump was at 50-something%, and Vivek was at
8%. Is what he got.
8%. But I think the one thing that got Vivek was that statement that he made about you vote for me because if you vote for Trump, you're voting for his demise or something, and that leaked.
No, yeah, that was definitely a misstep. I know what one you're talking about. It was the shirts of a vote for Vivek to save Trump, and it's that was probably a bad idea. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think Vivek was ever going to top Trump. I don't think that's what his campaign was about. I think it was setting himself up for the next thing. Yeah, obviously. And we'll get into that later. We also got to talk about Gina Carano. I don't know if did you see the news about Gina Carano?
No, I don't really watch the news.
I follow the pop culture stuff too, so I thought I would bring this up. It's like Gina Carano, who was ousted by Disney a couple of years ago.
I remember that.
Has triggered some Canadians at the Fan Expo because she's dangerous.
Oh my God! Of course,
it make us feel unsafe.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Poor babies.
I have a video that the global, I think it's Global News in Canada released, and it's the funniest thing you'll ever see. It's so terrible. It's so terrible.
Let's see this triggering.
Yeah, we got a full show tonight. There's lots of clips to get through, a lot of things. We've got the winning speech from Trump, and then we also got Vivek's speech bowing out gracefully. I think Vivek has done a great job from going from a complete unknown contender to getting 8% of the vote is absolutely insane. Because even if he ran as an independent, getting 8% of the vote is really hard. So I think he did a great job at that.
And Trump even gave him, he gave him a shout out too. Mm-hmm. He was like, for somebody that was so low, to get 8% of the vote, that's really good.
Yeah.
So he's an upcoming contender, but like he said,
he's still young too.
Yeah, he's 30 something, maybe. I think late 30s.
Yeah.
He's setting himself up for something very good.
2028 is going to be his year because if Trump doesn't win this one, he's done either way. He either gets it or he doesn't. He's not running again after this. He's going to be too old. And the only person that I think will get his endorsement for the next season is going to be Vivek.
Yeah.
The next presidential election is going to be Vivek.
I think the best thing for Vivek, if Trump wins, is to try to get that VP slot so he can Trump can kind of mentor him,
Exactly.
Just mentor him and then get Trump 2.0.
Maybe. So to start things off, I have a fun video for you all. There's always been this thing going back and forth between the U.S. and Australia of who has the more dangerous animals. This is actually kind of funny.
I feel like Americans have got to stop freaking out about Australian and Australian wildlife. We don't have puddle gators.
First of all, sir, that is Florida. And I will tell you that as a Floridian, other states have questions about us down here too, but we lit down here. But I will say, as a Floridian, one of the only other places in the world that would make me nervous because of the wildlife would be Australia. Sir, y'all have cassowary just running around there, right? Yes, we have huntsman spiders, but we don't got the Australian version. The Australian version is like the Cadillac version of huntsman spiders. We ain't got that down here. We got the little, they're still bigger than every other spider in Florida, but we got the little ones down here. We gonna take the little ones, y'all take the Cadillac version, the Escalade version. And so last but not least, y'all have deer that have grown a bigger tail that has been trained by Mike Tyson himself. Yes, sir, I'll take my polar gator over everything I just said. And
he's not wrong though, dude. He's not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I heard Australia, out in the freaking, what do they call it? The
the outback.
The outback.
Yeah.
I was like, that's unforgivable right there.
It is one of those ones that are very unforgiving. I'm not gonna lie. Like I know he wants to compare it, but it's like comparing Florida to Australia isn't fair. Okay, Florida is its own thing. All right, there's a reason we have a Florida man.
Yeah, that's true.
It's its own thing, man. You can't compare. That's like trying to compare Texas and California, right?
Yeah,
they are not the same thing. They might be about the same size. They might have some of the same sort of, cultural things, but they are very different places.
Go more like Australia and the Amazon. That's dangerous. Leaves can kill you in the Amazon. It's like, no, I'm good. I don't want to get bit by a leaf.
Yeah, definitely puddle gators.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Here's another no thank you for you, Michael. Besides puddle gators, is you ever been out camping and like all the creepy sounds? Well, imagine waking up to this.
I love camping.
Just a weird ass horse staring at you in the face.
It's just waiting for you to wake up. That's how my husky looks at me when she has to go pee in the morning.
Right?
I'm telling you, she stares at me just like that. I'll wake up and she's just staring at me. Yeah. Like, oh, you gotta go pee, and she's like,
Well, that's the cat look, right? When it wants to be fed, and it's just standing over your face, like waiting for you to feed it. Yeah,
that's weird. Animals, I love them. I love them all.
I love them too. Just like having a giant ass horse stare at you in a tent is pretty weird.
Is it a wild horse? Yes, a wild horse has to be.
I don't know.
Might be.
He didn't say. It might be. Like either he's on private land or they're out in public land. If they're out in public land, that's even weirder. Is that just a random horse comes up to your side and starts looking at you like that?
Yeah.
That's no, sir. The only thing worse than this would be a bear. If you wake up to a bear staring at you like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I would shit myself.
Those are some vicious, or a bobcat.
Yeah, I would not.
Or a Sasquatch just staring at you eating your chips. A Sasquatch standing there. He's got your bag of Doritos, and he's just.
Dude, that would. I don't even know how I would answer that situation. It's like
I know how
Sasquatch sitting there eating your chips.
I'd hand him some dip. I'd be like, it tastes better with this. You want a Coke with that?
you want a Coke, man?
Oh, man. Hand him some beef jerky.
What's worse is that nobody would believe you if you told them. Even though it really happened to you, nobody would believe you ate chips with Sasquatch.
You'd have to take some selfies with him. Be like, hey, man, you take selfies? He's like, yeah, I do this all the time.
You take pictures?
Yeah, he's like, all right, let's go.
Let's do it. Yeah,
let's do it.
But we were talking about it earlier about like horses are big in themselves, right? But then people forget how big a moose is. The other thing is people tend to forget how big a tuna is because they have this idea of a tuna. Like they think tuna sandwich or tuna, they get it out of a can. It's a small can, right? It's a little bit of flesh in a can. They think maybe like a tuna is like this big. That's not how big a tuna is. I want to remind people how big a tuna actually is. Okay? That's how big an actual tuna is.
Good Lord have mercy.
So when you make your tuna sandwiches, that's what you're eating. You're eating that big fish right there. That's what you're eating. That's a tuna.
She caught it. Look at her.
Yeah, I know, right? She's so proud of herself. But still, like you said, it's like that's how big a tuna is.
You know the payout for that. That's why she's happy.
Oh yeah, dude. I can imagine. That's got to be a lot.
Oh yeah.
We're talking a couple 1,000 pounds worth of tuna right there.
Oof. Yeah, that's a good payout.
No, they weigh hundreds of pounds. No, they weigh in the thousands.
Yes.
Of pounds.
You know we're gonna prove you wrong. Come on now, you guys follow the Savage Patriots and the Hooch. We're gonna come with receipts every time.
But yeah, tuna can get some.
Let's see.
Pretty big. It's pretty big. So just don't forget that the world is wide and you know nothing, because there are things out there that will surprise you.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, especially moose. Moose are one of those ones that I forget constantly how large those things are. Like every single time I forget.
All right.
You're right, dude?
All right, the heaviest tuna. You know we're bringing receipts.
Okay, what's
1,496 pounds.
Nice.
That's crazy. Largest tuna ever recorded, Atlantic bluefin, caught off Nova Scotia, that weighed 1,496 pounds. It's insane. I
know, right? Yeah, this next video is actually pretty good too, in terms of insanity. So, I hate YouTube Shorts because it doesn't let me rewind. Like I have to play it all the way through first in order to get it through, which is annoying. Okay, there we go. Now I got it. So, an old man in a certain profession is somebody you shouldn't mess with, right? So, like, this is why the dude's the coach. And I thought it was really cool. Just to show the amount of technique this man has is insane. So, watch this.
3 from here, from the back, you hear 3. Now, the rhythm changes when I do this. That's 2 rebounds. Fist hits the bag, 1, 2, and comes back. Single fist here, you hear that beat, changes.
He's
double fist through.
Damn.
Single fist, fist rolling. Would be a little drum cadence.
But that drum cadence, man, like he's not just like exercising or working it out, like he's actually playing the drums on that thing. That's how insanely talented that dude is.
Yeah, that reminds me. You remember like older dudes, and you said age. Remember you brought up age. Remember that old dude? This is an old video that came out, and he was at a bar, and these 2 young punks tried to fight him, but they didn't know he was a boxer, but he was old.
Oh yeah,
you remember that? And he
knocked
them
both. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, he knocked them both out. I was like, "See, you just don't know. You can't run your mouth to everybody. You have no idea someone's background."
Well, that's the same thing. It was like an old vet, like getting involved in a fight, and like I don't want to do this. I don't want to get in a fight. And as soon as the fight starts, though, those people are laid out. Like every time you see a video like that, it's always some old dude that like Vietnam vet or World War II before that. When you saw those videos, and he just lays them out.
Yeah,
like in a couple of seconds. It's like, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you. Okay, now we're gonna fight.
Yeah,
now it's gonna happen, man.
Yep.
It's crazy. But you're right, Catalina. Like boxers train really hard, and like that dude has had years of experience, and I think that's one of the reasons why. You know, old men. We need old men to teach the younger generation in order to continue everything on, and I think we've kind of lost sight of that. Instead, we just put them in the Senate to wither away.
Yeah, just wither away in the Senate, and we put them in the Supreme Court, all that stuff. We just put our old people there, and that's a new old folks' home where you can work forever.
You can work forever, and you no longer have to do anything.
Oh yeah, just forever.
If it's not the Senate, then we put them in the White House. This is a good segue for the first story. So the White House is decrying swatting as dangerous after being hit with fake 911 claiming fire. So listen to this. You know how like over the last few years that the left has used the swatting tactic to go after conservative commentators, and then like somehow nobody ever gets caught for it.
Oh
like,
yeah,
nobody gets arrested for it. Nothing ever happens about it. Like you could be swatted multiple times, and they're just like, nah, whatever.
I know a bunch of people that's been swatted.
Exactly. So it happens once to them, and they're like, "Oh, this is dangerous." Anyway, listen to this.
Could you speak to the larger issue that this technique of whether it's harassment or prank or whatever it might be that has popped up and has affected now the White House, but in addition, members of the judicial branch, other types of officials, do you have a broader sense of how this is now creating a risk or a danger in our society?
Yeah, look, I think what you just stated is correct, right? It is creating a danger and a risk to our society. There are things that we're going to monitor. This is something, obviously, the Secret Service is going to monitor very closely as it relates to us specifically at the White House or this administration. And so I'm just going to be really mindful and leave it there. But how you stated the question is obviously a concern to us.
I still have no idea how she has a job. She's the worst at this. Like,
because she's
like nothing solid.
She's a woman and she's a person of color.
Yeah.
And the optics would not look good if they got rid of her.
They should, though. They honestly should just get rid
of her.
Get
rid of that whole administration, man. We need just go back in time. And if I had a wish, I'd just wish they all worked at Walmart. Never got into politics.
Wish them away.
Yeah, wish them away.
But dude, it's the funniest thing to me is like Marjorie Taylor Greene, for instance, has been spotted multiple times, and the Secret Service has done nothing to find the people responsible for that or arrest them.
Didn't she get swatted on Christmas?
Yep.
No one
she
did
also
anything.
Got swatted when she was on the Temple's podcast.
Yep. No one did anything.
IRL. Yeah.
But
nothing. But it's just the point that like Congress people have been swatted multiple times, and they have yet to do anything about these perpetrators on the left.
Yep. And they won't. They won't.
So I find it funny and ironic that the White House is now upset because somebody swatted the White House.
They had a fire.
These peasants shouldn't be doing this to us. Only they get swatted.
Right? That's how things run, man.
Yeah.
Only they can get swatted. We don't need to get swatted.
Yeah. It's all bull crap.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The whole system needs to burn.
And a great example of BS is the DA, Fannie Willis. You remember her, the one that's running the Georgia election interference thing?
Oh, God.
Yeah, so she recently came out and said some really interesting things. So, like, if you those of you who don't know, I'll play another media piece after this, so you get a more context that this is Fannie Willis, like I said, the DA that's running the suit against Donald Trump in Georgia for election interference, who was in a entanglement. We like using those words. She was with an entanglement with one of the prosecutors she hired to go after Donald Trump. And her excuse is brilliant, I should say. Very brilliant.
It's his grace, not a perfect me. We are at a time in history, people. Hear me on this. We are at a time in history when you can no longer sit back and just let other folks do it. You cannot expect black women to be perfect and save the world.
You can't expect black women to be perfect and save the world.
Oh, my God. Of course, she's pandering to an all-black church. Of course, this is what they do. She's probably never even stepped foot in that place.
Not until recently, anyway.
Yeah.
But no, it's like we can't expect black women to be perfect. Yeah, but we also don't expect you to sleep with people and then put them in positions that they're going to get paid for because of political stunts.
You can't use the race card when you're wrong. You're just wrong.
But that's what they do.
Yeah, just come out and say I'm wrong. Why do you always got to play the victim? Typical narcissistic demon personality disorder. They're demons.
Oh, absolutely. So here's some more.
The Lord is completing us. We are not perfect. We need your prayers. We need to be allowed to stumble. We need grace. With that kind of support, we will move mountains and do Jesus' will. Stumbling all the way.
Yeah.
So his flawed, hard-headed, and imperfect child has a message for each of you today.
Oh, let's hear it.
Please find a way to do your extraordinary, God-given assignment and make this community and the world a better place for all of his people. See, it is never about who you are.
Okay.
It is always about the great I am and who he is.
I love how when people are wrong, they always want to use religion as a scapegoat for their wrongdoings.
Yeah. Now
Or
look
their
at
color.
look at the crowd. Watch the crowd. We're watching her. Everyone look at the reactions of the people behind her. Now look, there's one clapping, one's arms folded. That's a very, what do they call with your arms crossed? That's very defensive.
Closed off, yeah.
Closed off. Look at this lady. She's sitting there and
believe
looking
you.
down. This other one's looking to the right up top. That guy in the center got his fingers crossed. That one next to her, look at him. Just look at everybody. Look at the guy next. Just look at all the reactions.
Uninterested.
Yep.
They're uninterested, man. It's so funny.
See, we are all flawed, sinners, unworthy, imperfect, damaged, but we are qualified upon his calling.
Oh, yeah.
You can find common ground with people of all different ideologies if you simply commit yourself to being obedient and steadfast in your efforts and his word.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you believe every word of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe it, man.
How many months or years she's been running with a lie?
I know.
Then she wants to ride that white horse when she got caught. Now she wants grace. Now she wants forgiveness.
Yep.
Don't give it to her.
They shouldn't, but they do. But
let God. Well, always forgive people, but don't forget and let God sort that out.
Right. But this is how they do, and then the media protects them. So like.
The Georgia District Attorney leading the case against former President Trump. Fani Willis spoke for the first time on Sunday about her alleged improper relationship with one of the lawyers she hired. Senior national correspondent Steve Osunsami is in it.
Which you heard. You heard that. I'm sure there was more to it, but that's basically what it was. And this is how they're going to report it.
Atlanta with the story. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, George. There are many people here, many of them her supporters, who wanted to hear her deny one of the biggest allegations against her, that she was allegedly in a relationship with one of the special prosecutors she hired to work the case against the former president. In her comments, she did not confirm or deny any of that.
Kidding.
I'm a little confused.
It's the first time she's spoken publicly since being accused of having a, quote, improper relationship with Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor in the alleged election interference case, who she hired, who records show took the job a day after he filed for divorce from his wife.
I appointed 3 special counsel, as is my right to do. Paid them all the same hourly rate. They only attacked one.
Speaking before one of the oldest...
Yeah, see that? They only attacked one. Right? I hired 3 of them, but I only talked one. It's like, yeah, because you were the one sleeping with that one. Like, dude. It's no surprise that they went after the one you were sleeping with.
Yep.
It's not because he's black. It's because you were sleeping with him.
Of course, play the victim, man. That's their playbook. It doesn't matter what you find out about these people. They're always going to play the victim instead of owning up to what they did. I'd respect her more if she just said, I messed up.
Yeah. I think most
apologize.
people would forgave her.
Just own up. And now she's trying to play victim, playing the race card. Woe is me. And look, half those people ain't buying it, man. Look at the crowd. They're not buying it.
Nobody is. Nobody cared about it.
No.
Black churches in America on Sunday, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis shared that she was flawed and imperfect and spoke about the racism she has endured. She says no one is focusing this way on the 2 other special prosecutors she's
because they're the most whitest of white lawyers you could possibly hire. Like if I had a picture of what a white lawyer looks like, it's that guy.
His name is Steven.
But it would be the same thing if you were sleeping with that dude. Like, it doesn't matter that he like. It doesn't matter he's black. It's the fact that you're sleeping with him. So if you would have been sleeping with this white, nerdy-looking dude first, we would be talking shit about him.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with the race. For some reason, the left thinks that every time we see something, we see it through a racial lens.
Yeah.
Most conservatives don't see things through a racial lens. We see things in two forms: good, bad, or right, wrong, whatever you want to call it, good or evil. That's all we see it. No one even thought about the race until she brought it up.
Oh, yeah.
But the left, they're just so hyper focused on the race and the color of the skin, but they discredit, they throw away the wrong. And that's the problem you see. It doesn't matter what they did. It's the fact that they were black and that's why you're doing it. No, it's the fact that they're a messed up person and they did something messed up. Has nothing to do with their skin color. Has something to do with what they did.
But I can tell you the reason why she didn't sleep with this guy.
He has a really big penis.
No, I was gonna say,
I don't know.
I was gonna, the reason he didn't sleep with this guy is because he's not attractive. The other guy was more attractive. That's obviously why. So like,
he's attractive to someone.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But I'm saying comparing that dude versus this dude, they are totally different. Like,
I didn't
totally
see the
different.
other dude. Oh,
you didn't?
No,
Okay.
did I miss it?
Okay, so
'Cause I was
here's
checking on
the
my-
white dude, right?
Yeah.
And that's the dude she's hired, who she's sleeping with.
Oh, okay.
So it's obvious. It's
I think they're a
freaking obvious,
50-50.
man.
I think they're a split, but
No, there's no way that those two are the same. Come on,
Hey,
man.
well, you're the one that's looking at dudes. I'm just saying they're even Stevens because all dudes look the same.
Dude, I'm just saying, as a neutral arbiter here, the reason we're not talking about this guy versus the other guy is because she's not sleeping with him. That's the only
What
thing
if
I'm trying to
that's-
say here.
What if that's a bad picture? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't care.
Bad picture? Fine. What if she was sleeping with the lady? It would be the same thing. Okay? It would be the same thing.
Focusing this way on the two other special prosecutors she's appointed who are
She can
white.
be my sugar mama.
Isn't it them who's playing the race card when they only question one?
I'll cook
But
for
a
you every
lawyer
day.
for Michael Roman, a co-defendant of
Damn.
the former president, says race has nothing to do with it. In a
Exactly.
legal
It doesn't.
filing, she's accusing the Fulton County prosecutor and Nathan Wade of having a self-serving arrangement where she says they purchased tickets for cruise lines and traveled together to Napa Valley. And without evidence, the lawyer accuses Willis and Wade of paying.
Okay. I like how they use that without evidence after just presenting evidence that they did this thing. Like, they're
Exactly.
saying- in a court filing, which in its of itself is under oath. You cannot lie in an official court document.
Mhm.
That is evidence because they have to have evidence to bring to the court in order to file that motion in the first place. They can't just say whatever they want. Like, oh yeah, they did this thing, but we have no evidence to support it. They wouldn't have filed it if they didn't have evidence to support it.
That's right.
Like, because could you imagine lying in a court document to a judge saying, oh yeah, we just filed it because we thought we could get away with it? No, it's like, obviously he would hold you in contempt and then he would probably disbar you because you lied under oath in an official document. You can't do that. It's so insane to me that's how dishonest the media is being about this.
Yep.
They're absolutely lying to your face, even though they just told you a second before they have evidence because they put it in an official court document. Not like a New York Post article, which is what the left does all the time. They make an accusation. It's not under oath. It's just somebody's anonymous opinion or somebody familiar with the matter. You remember those words? Familiar with the matter. A guy that just happened to be in the office and heard the thing.
Paying for these alleged vacations with the nearly $650,000 in legal fees that Wade has earned since working the case. In a statement Sunday, the lawyer said that the biggest difference between the white and black special prosecutors is that neither of the white hired lawyers have taken Miss Willis to California, Florida, or in cruises to the Caribbean.
No shit. That's a no shit thing, man. Why is that even a question? It's like, yeah, obviously it's not an issue of that. It's because you're going on trips with the dude and paying him.
That's right. And she's very embarrassed right now because she swears up and down she had Donald Trump. She got him.
Yeah.
And she doesn't.
No.
She doesn't.
If anything, she's about to get disbarred for unethical
and
practices.
Good.
She wants her client's indictment thrown out and Willis removed from the case.
There's a potential that she could get disqualified from the case. And then if you have a new prosecutor appointed to it, somebody who doesn't like the case could be dismissed because they don't think that it should be moved forward.
Republicans in Washington are already all over this. The House Judiciary Committee, led by Republicans, is now investigating. An attorney for Donald Trump says that he's considering adopting this same motion against Willis. Donald Trump, Mr. Roman, and 17 others pleaded not guilty last August after prosecutors charged them with attempting to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. Four of them took plea deals in exchange for testifying against other defendants. The judge has not set a date for trial yet, but Fani Willis is asking that it begin in August, setting up a scenario we could potentially have a president-elect in November being called to state trial here in Georgia. There's a hearing,
which is all a part of the plan. Which is
now,
all a part of the plan.
And it is. Now, you remember what age we're going into, and you guys, some people understand the age of Aquarius. You know what the age of Aquarius signifies, right? Things hidden, truth. Things hidden, truth. We're going into the golden age. So you're going to see a lot more stuff, not just in politics, just around, just things coming to light. And this is one of them. You can't hide in the age of Aquarius because anything you do or say will come forward. Exposure. There you go, Kat. That's the age of Aquarius.
Exposure is definitely the way to put it. But you're right. It should be thrown out. They should throw it out because it's been a tainted case from the beginning. You have special interest groups that have been putting this together in the first place. And then you had a prosecutor in multiple states campaigning on the fact that they were going to lock a individual up, which if it was anybody else would be disqualifying because
that's right.
You can't bring a case to somebody just because you dislike them. That's not how justice works in the United States. At least it shouldn't, but it does. But that's how it is. But like I said, they want to make it about a race thing. It's not a race thing. It's because you're sleeping with the dude. If you'd have been sleeping with the white nerdy dude, we would have said the exact same thing. You're wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be taking trips on government money and paying your lover government money to prosecute a former president. That's how insane the world is. That is how insane the left is right now, is that they are so dirty that they're trying to get anything they can on Trump that they themselves keep putting themselves under the bus while trying to get him.
And here's the thing, man. When of course, Trump's going to sue. You know this. His team, they're all going to sue her. And to save Faith, to save her behind, she's going to talk. And you're going to start seeing a lot more come out from this. If she wants to save herself, she's like, I'm about to lose everything. Yeah. Well, if you tell us some more stuff, we can save your career. And she will talk.
Doubtful. She'll just disappear like everybody else. Speaking of disappear, they're trying to get Gina Carano to disappear. The slap in the face ex-Mandalorian star invite to Fan Expo prompts backlash. Fan Expo is a convention in Canada. They generally have a bunch of, anytime that you have any of these conventions, they usually have big name celebrities or stars or voice actors or something come there and they sign autographs and go to booths and whatever. Anytime if anybody's been to a convention, you know what it's like, right?
Yeah, I've been.
People get hired for these events so they can sell tickets. And because she's selling tickets, by the way, they gave her another day. So the backlash is actually working in the opposite end of that, where they thought they would get her canceled. Instead, they got an extra day at the expo.
Good. And they're all talking crap, but they can't fight her, though. I bet you that. I bet you they won't say it to her face.
Oh, no, absolutely not. But I want you to watch this video and tell me it doesn't just sing, this is exactly what every stereotype of a lefty is.
Like this costume, cosplay has a lot of layers.
It really does give an avenue for self-expression, creativity, therapy.
But there's growing concern plans for an upcoming event go against the fabric of the community.
One of the few safe spaces that we have no longer feels safe.
3 days ago, Fan Expo Vancouver took to its Instagram page announcing Gina Carano as one of this year's guests.
I was excited, and then this happened.
Lana Redlick is not alone.
Thank you,
In the
Diane.
nearly 500 comments on the post, those planning to attend are expressing.
Yeah, I know, right? It's the most stereotypical thing you could ever possibly Imagine. So
Oh my
I
God.
was gonna read it, but then I remembered she reads it, so let's just let her do it in her news voice.
Their disappointment, writing gross move. As a non-binary cosplayer, no thank you. And hell no, is this the year to boycott? I think it might be.
As a non-binary cosplayer, no thank you.
You know what's funny about these woke left? They're everywhere.
Man.
Everyone thinks that. Some people think it's just in America. No, the woke is all across the world.
It is everywhere, man.
They really think that little minority of wokeism, those little snowflakes, whatever you want to call them, they really think them boycotting is going to stop people from going. You're like this much of the fan base. It's not going to stop the hardcore fans from going to see, this event. So yeah, go ahead and boycott. Keep your money. It doesn't matter. They're going to make triple that.
True. Like I said, they're giving her another day because she's selling tickets. The only reason they invite these celebrities to go to these conventions is to make money, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
They should know who is their target audience, being young people, queer people, LGBT people. It was just an enormous slap to the face.
The actress is best known for her work in The Mandalorian and Deadpool. But after she took to social media, comparing being a conservative today to being Jewish in Nazi Germany, Disney quickly cut ties. Carano never addressed her.
In context of 2020, because we need to go back into memory lane. So here, I even have the magical twinkle. Back in the magical year of 2020, if y'all remember, Gina Carano posted this about people who were anti-vax, which now we know is true. That they were treating people who did not take the vaccine like they were the plague, right? Like they were the most evil people on the planet. So she wasn't comparing them, conservatives, to Jews. She was comparing people who were not vaccinated or didn't want to get vaxxed, or people that were skeptical of the origins of COVID were being treated like this.
That's true.
Now, in hindsight of 2022, as we say.
Yeah, well, since we're on this topic, I mean, there was a little letter that the Nazis sent to like a big pharma company, and where they wanted 150 Jewish women, healthy Jewish women, and they were running tests on them with vaccines.
Yeah.
And all 150 of them died. So they sent another letter and asked for more. So, this is kind of what she's getting at. You're wanting people to get these vaccines. You're lying about the people dying about it. And it's almost the same as.
Yeah. But it's not even that. It was the point of this is that they weren't taken by the Nazi soldiers. They were taken by their neighbors. That was the whole key point of her tweet, was that their neighbors were selling each other out. And that was the problem. And during 2020, people were selling out their neighbors for not following the guidelines. Remember?
Or for a kickback from the government. They were even giving people money. Yep, they were giving kickbacks. Or if they said the wrong thing. Yep, they were doing that. But, there's something called a Nuremberg trial. So, anybody who turned you in, they'd be on trial too.
Yeah. But still, the point is like I said, her point of her tweet was not turning in your neighbors.
That's right.
Was the whole point of that. And so they still view it as, because she said it was about conservatives. No, it's about neighbors turning on neighbors. That's the thing we want to avoid. But they turned it into some racist anti-Semitic thing. And that's what they've been using to beat her over the head with for years now, even though that's not true.
No, it's not. And
the anti-trans thing was because she put in her profile bebop boop for her pronouns.
What's wrong with that? I mean, aren't we allowed
funny,
to?
But they did not.
But aren't we allowed to have any pronoun we want?
Yeah, no.
I thought we could be anything we want in today's society. I'm a 7-foot Asian guy. That's what I am, Coy, and you will respect my authority by calling me.
Nobody believes Michael is a 5-foot
Mike
Asian
Ming
dude.
King.
Mike
Jin.
Mike Ming King, Jesus, dude. Okay. Anyway, let's continue.
Man, you better change my name. We're about to do that right now. Mike Bing Bing.
Firing, only further fueling the controversy, posting transphobic, anti-mask, and conspiracy theory-related content.
Yeah, see, that's what they hit her
Now
every
there's
time.
fear those views will infiltrate what's supposed to be an inclusive gathering.
Oh,
Infiltrate
God,
this.
Look at that weirdo.
I know, right? We're gonna infiltrate your space with this anti-trans and conspiracy-minded things because Gina Carano is showing up. We're gonna ruin all the fun. That's what they're saying.
Mean conservative and their right-wing ideology.
I know, right? They're so mean. They're so terrible.
So mean. They're so honest, and honesty is mean.
There you go. That's the way to go. I can be a trans panda. Please send bamboo.
Yeah, we could be anything we want, right? Let's just look. If you're on social media, right, we're gonna go to these social media platforms and we're gonna change our who, what, when, where, and why to anything we want.
Exactly.
Forget all the she, her, him, them, and all that. We're just gonna make up stuff called, I'm gonna call myself a laser beam,
Mr. Laser,
an attack helicopter.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, the world's crazy.
People will just turn up in support of Gina Carano. I'm just genuinely worried it's just going to turn into yet another safety concern and issue for everybody who could be at risk here.
This petition more than halfway to its goal of...
What is she going to do, man? Like,
what
just
is
her
it,
appearance is so detrimental to your health. Like, come on, Dan.
Like, what is she, does she have magical powers to where she can just... destroy everybody in there?
Yep.
She's already dangerous without going to this event. Without this event, she's still a dangerous person, technically.
Yeah. It's like
physically.
Are you worried that she's gonna beat you up? I mean, come on. Do you think Gina Carano has time to mess with you? Jesus.
1,000 signatures is now circulating, calling on organizers to remove Carano from the lineup. In a statement, Fan Expo Vancouver made no indication they would be doing so, writing every participant, including special guests, will be expected to uphold the same code of conduct to create a safe environment for everyone.
Yeah, good for you.
That won't include Dalla.
I don't want to go. I've refunded my ticket.
This costume will have to wait until the fandom is able to stitch together a safe place for all.
A safe place for all.
They need a safe space. Go to the library.
Man. Why are people so terrible?
How do they survive, man?
I don't know.
Like, literally, if they think of Fan Expo because some celebrity is going to be there signing autographs and selling tickets or whatever, how do they live life outside of their little box? You know what I mean? How do they survive in the regular world? Because the world's not safe. Anywhere you can go to Walmart, Target, Fry's, anywhere. Something bad can happen at any moment in time, so nothing is guaranteed safety. I just don't get it, man. The world is doomed. I don't know, but I know what I'm capable of.
That's what they keep saying is like they have this thing where they just take the most extreme thing and stretch it to the 10th degree. They crank it all the way up to 11.
Yeah, they just, I'm petty like that, right? So if I was in charge of that Fan Expo, I'd be like, you know what? We're just going to cancel it and we're going to move to another city that's a little more friendly about it and just cancel the whole thing.
In their defense, it is Canada. So,
but I would still, I would cancel it. I would be like, okay, we're canceling it. We're not going to bow down to these woke crybabies. Cancel. Here's all your money back. Take the hit.
I wish more people would stand on principle and do that, but they never will.
And a lot of people don't stand on principle; they stand on dollars, and that's the problem with the world.
Another man who stands on principle: Donald Trump, former president, future president, as we all know, won last night in the Iowa primary, which wasn't a surprise. He won 51% of the vote, even though. Okay, so here's the thing. Ron DeSantis is upset because they only counted 14% is what the left is calling out with this. So they're supporting DeSantis, saying it was stolen from me. It's like, dude, out of the 14% that was reported and over 51% of it was for him, I don't think the rest of the votes were gonna be going in your favor at any point in time.
He said stolen. Did they say that for real?
He literally said it was stolen from him because they didn't count all the votes in the primary. Like, so the media, he complained because he said the media called it before all the votes came in. And it's like, yeah, because all the votes were going in a landslide direction. If you're getting more than 50% of the votes in a 4-person race, it's over.
And they called it, and the final vote tally is still yet to be published, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to see the final vote tally and he's going to look real stupid. Look, Ron, Don, whatever the heck, sanctimonious. Nobody wants you as president. Go back to Florida. It's not your time.
At one time, Ron DeSantis had the opportunity to be a great candidate, but he messed it up every single step of the way, and he is no longer viable as any sort of candidate. And even the donors know that Ron DeSantis is not a viable candidate. That's why they're going with Nikki Haley. He's not even the establishment pick anymore. He is no one's pick. And that's what they're not getting. He should have already bowed out, but he's not going to. Anyway, so...
I'm glad you brought up Nikki Haley because, look, she is going to get freaking destroyed if she has to debate Donald Trump. Donald Trump is... he's a chess player, and you don't think his team is dissecting everything about her right now? It'll come out. And you know him, he likes to roast people, so he's going to eat her alive. She doesn't stand a chance. Not because she's a woman, if someone's watching, because she's a woman. No, it has nothing to do with that.
We'll get
Donald
to
Trump he's a different, I've seen the dude live, man. He's a different monster. You got to watch him live.
Yeah.
He just rolls off the tongue. There's no teleprompters. So when I went to that rally, there were no teleprompters. He was just talking.
Yep.
So good luck with her.
He's good. There's on what you were talking about. We actually have a couple of clips later from MSMBC doing the exact same thing, and then also Nikki Haley herself speaking, which I thought was funny. So MSMBC did not actually play his victory speech. I'm going to play a little bit for you, probably the first couple of minutes. If you want to watch the whole thing, go find it on YouTube. I'm sure it's everywhere. But the point is, they refused to air it because it was Donald Trump and he won. That was it.
Whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative, it would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing. That's practically never been like this. It's just so important, and I want to make that a very big part of our message. We're going to come together. It's going to happen soon, too. It's going to happen soon. I want to thank some of the great people. We have so many senators. If I go through every name, we'll be here all night, and everybody's going to get angry at me. But the senators, the congressmen from Washington, they came down from all different states. I want to thank you very much. I want to congratulate Ron and Nikki for having a good time together. We're all having a good time together. And I think they both actually did very well. I really do. I think they both did very well. We don't even know what the outcome of second place is. And I see Carrie Lake. Congratulations, Carrie. Very good. I spotted her, I have to announce, because she's terrific. She's going to be a senator, a great senator, I predict, right?
He almost slipped up to
Great
VP.
senator. And I also want to congratulate Vivek, because he did a hell of a
Another
job.
guy.
He came from zero, and he's got a big percent, probably 8%, almost 8%, and that's an amazing job. They all did. They're all very smart people, very capable people. I think most importantly, I want to thank my incredible wife, First Lady, I'll say former and maybe future. But more important than Melania, I want to thank her incredible, beautiful mother who passed away a few days ago. And she's up there, way up there. She's looking down, and she's so proud of us. And I just want to say to Amalia, you are special, one of the most special people I've ever known. And that was a tough period of time for the family. But she's amazing. She was amazing. So I just want to thank what she's done for our family, and her husband, who's home right now and very lonely. He's a lonely man, but he's going to be okay. Victor, they're great people, great parents to all of us, really, great parents, but also to Barron. Boy, did she take care of Barron. That's how he got so tall. He only ate her food.
It's just surprising to me, like even in kind of an acceptance speech, he's talking about people that are important to them.
Yep.
In a very positive way. Like even though he was, against Vivek right before the the run up at the primary, he still thanked him. He still said he did a great job. So it's one of those things of like just how I understand how people get attracted to Trump in terms of electability. That's why he's still doing well. He's also a lot better in terms of his age than Biden is. So like putting those two together is going to be night and day difference.
One thing that people have to understand about Trump is that he's authentic. And, and it goes a lot deeper than what he's saying and all this. It's his authenticity that's one of the main reasons people are drawn to him.
Yeah.
He says what he means what he says. He's very consistent in what he says. And he's always, come through with everything that's happened to him. He's already like, I'm not worried about it because he's authentic. Authenticity is one of the highest vibrations you can vibrate at, next to love.
Exactly.
And as long as you're authentic, man, people are going to be drawn to you like a freaking magnet. And that's exactly what's happening with Trump.
Right. And that's the reason I think a lot of people were gravitating towards Vivek, because he gives off that same sort of energy. That's usually what people talk about when we're talking about the X factor when it comes to the presidency.
Yeah.
Ron DeSantis doesn't have it. Nikki Haley doesn't have it. Trump and Vivek, X factor. That's what it is. It makes them unique. And that is why they will always do better than them in polling. Always. Now, if you want to see Trump goes on to basically do what Trump does best, is say that he's going to win and they're going to win really bigly. So go watch the rest of his speech. But the one I want to get to before we run out of time is Vivek's speech conceding his part in the election. Because that's what I said. It comes down to that authenticity, that honesty.
Yep.
And so, like, this is the reason why I think a lot of people wanted to vote for him.
We actually didn't make this contingency plan before everybody told us to. We said, no, we're not doing that. But we talked about it tonight. We took a little bit of time in our apartment in Des Moines before coming here to make some hard choices. And I wanted to make a couple of announcements tonight to get the business out of the way. And then I want to tell you where we're going. As of this moment, we are going to suspend this presidential campaign. And this is going to have to be, there is no path for me to be the next president absent things that we don't want to see happen in this country. And I think that I am very worried for our country. I think we are skating on thin ice as a nation. We have done everything in our part to make, and done, every one of us in this room has done our part to save this country. And I am so proud of every one of you who have lifted us up. But we're a campaign founded on the truth. And so that's why we've made that decision today. And I'm also making the decision that this has to be an America First candidate in that White House. As I've said since the beginning, there are two America First candidates in this race. And earlier tonight, I called Donald Trump to tell him that I congratulated him on his victory. And now going forward, he will have my full endorsement for the presidency. And I think we're going to do the right thing for this country. And so I'm going to ask you to follow me in taking our America First movement to the next level. It did not begin in 2016. It began in 1776. And for the next journey of this race, we are going to make sure that our movement is actually the one that actually leaves and saves this country in the next step. And as for this movement, founded on truth, America First 2.0, we're just getting started. That doesn't end today. That begins today, actually. So we're just getting warmed up. Apurva and I, we're not going anywhere. We are in this for the future of our country. We've lived the phase of our life. This country has allowed us to live an American dream that my parents, who were here with us earlier, helping take care of our little boys, they never imagined when they came to this country 40 years ago. And now we have lived an American dream that we want to pass on to these kids and their generation. And so the phase of our life where we were getting ahead for ourselves, making a good life for our family, this country's already given us that. This next chapter of our life and the next chapter of our journey and the next few years and even the rest of this year is about giving back to this country to create a country that I am worried for. But if we all do our part, and I've been asking that of you at every step of the way, asking patriots across this state and across this country to do their part, I promised you if you did your part, and you have, that we will do ours. And we're going to do our part now going forward to make sure that America First lives on, to make sure that Donald Trump is successful as the next president of the United States, to make sure that it isn't some other puppet they trot out to make sure that they steal this country out from underneath us. We're not going to let that happen. We're going to take this movement to the next level. And I think after that, it's another 250 years and then some still left ahead of us.
So he's right. Like,
I still don't trust him, but
I know you say that every time.
Yeah, I don't trust him, but I do. Look, I'm a pretty good judge of character. There's something off about him, and I don't know. I honestly, I see Trump picking him or Carrie Lake as his VP. He's not going to pick Nikki Haley. That's not going to happen. He's not going to pick Sanctimonious because he will never endorse that guy again. So it's either going to be Vivek. Let's put it this way. Vivek's going to be part of his cabinet.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I'm sure
Vivek is secure in his spot, but I could see him being part of the cabinet. And I could see Carrie Lake being the VP. That'd be a great team right there. But
we already know that Tucker's not. I mean, Tucker's already said he's not going to. But
press secretary.
We will see. But
Tucker will be a great press secretary, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would be. But I know one person that's not going to be, and it's going to be this
my
lady.
God.
So listen to this and what she says.
I can safely say tonight, Iowa made this Republican primary
drunk.
a two-person race.
She sounds drunk.
Made this a two-person race. Between who? You and Donald Trump? I don't think so. You got 19%, dude.
You're half a person, a quarter of a person compared to Donald Trump.
It's so funny to me. Like, she thinks she's in the running still. Like, it's crazy. Like, these people are delusional.
Does she know something we don't know? Because she said two-person. How does she figure it's a two-person? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But how does she figure it's a two-person race when she, like you said, she scored under Sanctimonious?
Yeah. Well, because she believes like this.
Oh.
She's that guy that's celebrating in third place.
Oh, yeah. Donald Trump is going to eat. And look, it's already started on Twitter. They are going to eat her alive.
Yeah. But we also know why DeSantis isn't going to be, because he has no sense of humor either. Like,
no.
He doesn't have the charisma. Like I told you, he doesn't have the X factor. And this clip personifies exactly why he doesn't. I don't know if anybody else has seen this clip. This is the funniest thing you will see in politics today.
But nothing's going to
not
stop
authentic
us.
Real quick,
at
before
all.
we get started, thank you, everyone. Governor DeSantis, I want to present to you this participation trophy.
Oh, shit.
Now, it's probably not going to win the election, right? But we're proud of you for trying. There you go. No, but, I mean, he's special, he's unique, and he's our little snowflake.
Oh, that's so
Here you
messed
go.
up.
You want the award?
But nothing.
You see a smile at the end?
Yeah.
Look at the smile at the end when he looked to the right. The last, right, watch.
That one?
Keep going. Yeah, I feel stupid.
That is why Ron DeSantis will never be president.
Look, I was a
Is that
fan of
right there?
DeSantis. I was
I was
you know,
too.
I'm still on
I
the
was
fence,
too.
50-50. Now, as running for president, no. As the governor of his state, yes. There are certain things I get down with what he did, but he done ruined it for a lot of Americans. Look at that face.
I know. That's the face of a loser.
Yes.
Like, I hate to say this about another vet, but dude, like, you have no personality. I'm
say
sorry,
it
you
about
just
another.
don't, dude. You are book smart, you are policy smart, but you don't have it. I'm sorry,
better
you
than
don't
me.
have it.
No
It's
one's
just what it
safe.
is, man.
No one's safe to the bro. Vets.
It's true.
I don't care. No. Go sit down. Go back to Florida and enjoy your tenure there because you're not going to get reelected because Florida is Trump country too.
But
And,
like I
then,
said-
and I said it about Iowa. I think on the last Savage Patriots, I said Iowa is Trump country.
Yeah, you're right, Cuddly. He is awkward. He's very awkward. That's why I said it's like he doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the X factor.
No.
That's why we say this, is because he doesn't have it. He's never going to be
Authenticity.
president because of that.
Look, if any politicians ever hear this podcast, just remember this word: authenticity. Or anybody watching, authenticity will get you a long way. Just be authentic. Be your authentic self. Don't put on a show. Don't fake it till you make it. Just be authentic.
Yeah.
More people will be drawn to you when you are that way. Trust me.
So before we head out of here, I got a couple more clips coming from MSMBC in regards to the Iowa caucus, and they said some absolutely insane things that I need the
Who is
chat
this?
to hear.
Life Colorado. You see
I
that
have
comment?
no idea.
Oh, okay.
Okay, whatever. I mean,
Yeah, cool.
Sure. Cool
Yeah.
story, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Nice.
Anyway, moving on. Joy Reid of MSMBC says Nikki Haley lost Iowa because of racism.
Oh.
It was because they were racist. Then what was the fact that Vivek Ramaswamy lost then? Was it because of racism too? No, because he's white adjacent, right? That's the terminology you use. He's not colored enough.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
So it's racism are they claiming her race now after all these years?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
How does she
Kinda
even
like
get
Kamala switches between being Indian and black?
Oh, yeah.
Whenever it deems fit, yeah.
And I think to the point that you made, Steph, I mean, it's the elephant in the room.
Uh-huh.
She's still a brown lady that's got to try to win in a party that is deeply anti-immigrant and which accepts the notion.
Except for the fact that Vivek Ramaswamy is running and he was more favored than she was. The only reason she is winning right now is because a bunch of Democrats. She won one county in the entire state. You know what county that was? Where all the liberal Democrats were. That is the only county was in a city that she won. That is it. She did not win any of the surrounding counties. She only won that county, which was a very deep blue district.
Okay,
the
question.
Democrats are propping up Haley.
If it's racism, how did she even get any votes? Or Vivek? If it's racism, if it's if it's racism, they shouldn't have got any votes.
Mm-hmm.
Trump should have been like 90-something%, but he wasn't.
So for a completely racist party in Iowa, Haley and Ramaswamy, who they are looking at on the basis of color, got 20% of the vote. 20% together combined. They got 20%. How does that make sense in your mind? Oh, they didn't win because they weren't white enough? Really? That's the reason that Haley didn't win enough is because she wasn't white enough? Oh, come on. Come on, man.
That you can say immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. She's getting, birthered by Donald Trump. And I don't care how much the donor class likes her, which will ramp up a lot, the better she does in New Hampshire. So it's still a challenge. I don't see how she becomes the nominee of that party with Donald Trump still around. I can't picture it happening. Maybe it could happen. Ron DeSantis' only argument for staying in it is he's the white guy, that he can still make the appeal to white immigrants.
Who says that in the Republican Party? Who?
No one
says that. Not a single person says
She's
that.
making that up. And this is what liberals watch. This is what the left watches. And this is the stuff they regurgitate on social media. They regurgitate exactly that.
Oh, it gets worse.
It
gets much worse. Dude. Like I said, they lost their minds just like they did in 2016. So here's the good old Rachel Maddow.
Mad cow.
Everybody's favorite. Emerson.
No video.
So, sorry. I thought I had turned it over. But she's worried.
And the big picture takeaway from that, and I don't mean to be, again, too dark, as you said, on this, but it is not, if we are worried about the rise of authoritarianism in this country, we are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. If we're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian.
Remember, our democracy means communism. It doesn't mean your democracy.
Remember that. That's what they're talking about.
Our control.
And the thing what communists do is that they project, they blame their opponent for things, for the exact things that they're doing. They are the true fascists. Just know that.
Yeah. But that's what they're saying.
And potentially fascist form of government. The leader who is trying to do that is part of that equation. But people wanting that is a much bigger part of that equation. Right. Yeah. And the American electorate is made up of two major parties. One of those parties has been flirting with.
it is not made up of two major parties. We only have two major parties because they have a complete and utter control over the system,
That's
so that
right.
no other third party or independent party can actually get into the system to begin with. So no, it's not. It's not made up of two systems. It's made up of multiple parties that just happen to fit under the Democrat and Republican umbrella because they don't have a choice.
And it's kind of the uniparty. So really, technically, there's not two parties. It might be two parties on paper in
There's
front of the
us and
cameras.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually one party. It's they play they put on a good show for all of us, saying that there's two parties, but there's really one party.
Yeah. There's us and them. That's it.
Yep.
Extremism on the ultra-right for a very long time. They've brought them in a way that they haven't been central to Republican electoral politics ever before, and I know because I've been studying this.
Okay.
But once you have radicalized one major party so that those are the preferences of the people who adhere to your party, the leader's interchangeable. And yes, Trumpism is sometimes what we call it. MAGA movement is probably a better way to do it. But there is an authoritarian movement inside Republican politics that isn't being bamboozled by Trump. They are pushing Trump to get more and more extreme because the more extreme things he says, the more they adhere to him. And that is coming from a very large proportion of the American right that adheres to the Republican Party. And that's why this is a Republican Party problem more than it is the problem of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is coming from the lady that lied for years that the Russia collusion hoax was a real thing.
Yes.
If we remember right. Yeah.
Mad cow.
Definitely mad cow, but she's not as mad as Joy Reid.
Yeah,
because
anybody.
of her next segment, because I want you to listen to what she says and equate that with any other type of group of people in the United States, and see if it passes the test of, is that racist in your mind?
But, you know, I feel like the important sort of data point, and you know, Steve talks about it a lot. He's going to probably talk about it a little more tonight, is that these are white Christians. That this is a state that is overrepresented by white Christians that are going to participate in these caucuses, especially tonight. Earlier today, reached out to Robbie Jones from the Public Religion Research Institute, knowing that we were going to talk about Iowa. And this is a hyper evangelical white state. And he said the following to me: Iowa is about 61% white Christian. The country as a whole is approximately 41% white Christian. And in Iowa, we're talking about evangelical white Christians. And he said the following. Because I asked him, what do they get out of supporting Donald Trump? Because he keeps losing, he keeps delivering losses and losses and losses. And he said the following. They see.
If Donald Trump is losing, then why are you so worried that he's going to get in power?
Exactly. She's just another racist talking head on this racist show that she's on.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, it's like
Thank you, Kat.
he keeps losing.
Thank you, Barbara.
But then you're worried that he's going to win. So is he losing or is he winning?
They're so terrified of Donald Trump.
I know.
But he's losing, but they're so scared of him. It makes no sense.
See themselves as the rightful inheritors of this country, and Trump has promised to give it back to them.
The rightful inheritors of the country. They always say that, but I have yet to meet somebody that actually believes that.
You know, the rightful inheritors of the country. How come Donald Trump's Native American support is so high?
Oh yeah, I know, right?
You know what I mean? I just don't get these people. It's all fear mongering, and again, they're the true fascists. They're commies that are saying and doing exactly what, you know, they're accusing their opponent of. Everything that they're saying, man, they're doing it. When they talk about a dictator, when they talk about fascism, when they talk about all these, not going to say conspiracy theories, but all these communist, you know, talking points, they're doing the exact same thing. They're just hiding it under the name of democracy, and they keep using that fake word that doesn't apply to our country like that.
Yep. But it's our democracy. But this is how they treat us.
All the things that we think about electability, about, you know, what are people gaming out, or none of that matters when you believe that God has given you this country, that it is yours, and that everyone who is not a white conservative Christian is a fraudulent American, is a less real American. Then you don't care about electability. You care about what God has given.
Oh my God!
But that's the thing, is that's what these people believe. They believe that.
Yeah, and there's a small minority in our country. The majority of Americans really don't believe or think like that.
No.
It's just a
No, they
very
don't.
small group of them, and they're the loudest. They're the loudest ones.
I know, but that's just the way that these people they believe. Like Joy Reid is a racist. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say it
Oh,
outright.
flat out.
She's an
She's a
absolute
racist.
racist. She dislikes white people. She says she
Yep.
dislikes white people, and she
Except for her
bases
blonde.
everything on race.
She damn sure likes
So,
that blonde wig, though.
but it's his point. It's like you insert that with any other religious group or color, and it would be a racist statement to say that.
Yep.
Absolutely. So it's just a warning. 2024 is going to get crazy. Things are already getting crazy. There was another thing I wanted to bring up, but I'm going to save it for Thursday for Donald Trump.
11:11 on the clock.
Right. And so it's actually turning 7-11. That's funny.
Huh.
So anyway, I stay tuned for that. We'll talk more about Donald Trump on Thursday, and then whatever else crazy that happens will be on the Savage Patriots tomorrow night as usual. What were we talking about tomorrow? I forgot.
Trump, he just sent out the thumbnail. It's how Trump's knocking everybody out of the elections already.
Okay, so we're gonna do some more election coverage tomorrow.
It's hang on. It just says game over. Then we'll put out the thumbnail.
It's game over. But yeah, go ahead and check out the Savage Patriots Beyond tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, and then 4:30 whatever it is in the Mountain and Pacific time. Go down the list of time zones, learn your time zones, because apparently I forgot all mine.
They're very important.
They are important. Anyway,
time is an illusion, though.
Want to thank the chat for coming out and thank our Rumble watchers as well as Kick and X. If you're watching this on here, thank you. We love you. And we will be on tomorrow night and also Thursday night.
That's right.
Anything else, Michael, before we head out?
No, just make sure you guys keep up. Go back and watch the RC Dubs episode. A lot of you guys are already in that. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it on Rumble or YouTube. And keep up with us, man. We're going to have a lot of good stuff coming out these next few weeks. So just keep up. I'm going to go over here, eat, go to sleep. And I don't take medicine. So someone mentioned some medicine. I don't take anything. I don't take medicine at all. And let my body naturally beat it.
Some alcohol and some honey and lemon.
I don't drink.
I know. Anyway, that'll be it for us tonight. We love you, America. And we'll see you next time. And we are out.
War.